Welcome back to Trout Snacks. I had a friend the other day ask me to tie up some damsel flies for him, so that's what we'll tie up today. And I found this craft foam at Joann's, and it's a turquoise color, which is the color of the flies up in the Uintas at this lake my friend fishes. So we'll be tying that in a turquoise color. So we'll start about 2 eyelets back on the shank. Tie that in. This is just black 70 denier. I'll go back about half way on the shank there. Now I've cut that foam into a little square piece here, about eighth of an inch, and I cut a taper there where we can tie it in. Now when you tie this in, you just want to take loose wraps at first. Don't pull it tight yet. Okay, now start cinching it down tighter. And then you got your tail tied in. Then I'll take a black marker, Sharpie, and I'll bar the tail. Doesn't have to be perfect. I usually get like 4 of them on there. And they don't have to be perfectly spaced, because nothing in nature is actually perfect. Okay, so you can see I've got it barred all the way around. Bring my thread back to the back of the tail there, and then I'll get my Ice Dub UV Pearl from Hairline, and this dubbing is a little more coarse than like a prism type dubbing or another type of the prism type dubbing. And I'll grab, I don't know, 40-50 pieces there, I guess, and I'll kind of pull it to make them to lengthen it out. Don't stretch it, just let the pieces slide. And then you want to take and put a little twist in it, makes it a little more manageable. I'll come forward a little bit, pull that back, keeping everything on top, nice and snug. So that can be an impression of a wing. So when damsel flies wings, they'll lay on their back when they land. When they're at rest. That's a little long. I think I'm going to trim that tail just a smidge. Right about there. Now, to add just a little more flash, look at some small Flashaboo, and might be kind of hard to see, but I'll double that over. Like so. And I'll tie this in on the side and work your way back. Tie that in. Pull this other side up and over, put it on the side of the fly. Okay, and I'll trim that to the length of the abdomen. There, now we got the flash of booty on the sides. I'll bring that back a little bit. It's going to clean it up. Kind of come forward, just kind of build this up a bit. Now about halfway through where your thorax is going to be, I'll stop my thread. What I do now is I'll get the same flash of boo, double it over again, and we'll tie this in on the top. This could be impressions of wings again, or even legs. Let's kind of figure eight these pieces in. Now we'll bring this back. Behind there. I'll go ahead and cut that out of the loop. There we go. And we'll trim those up here in a minute. Now we'll get the wing case, about 1/4 inch by eighth of inch by 1/4 inch or so, and I cut a wedge in the front. And again, just light wraps at first, and we'll bring our thread to the back of the thorax, starting of the and the start of the abdomen. Okay, so light. Now, while you're pinching it, start snugging your thread and making tighter wraps. Okay, now make even tighter wraps. And this keeps it from twisting around and holds it nice and tight. Okay, like so. We're back far enough. Just holding those wings in nice and low to the body. And it's centered over our hook right there. Oh, that tail kind of went crazy on me. There we go. Now, I'll get a blue prism UV dub and the prism UV in the gray. And I'll mix these 1 to 1. And this is what you get after you're done mixing it. Makes it a little lighter. And then we'll dub this on. Kind of light, not too tight. Because as we dub it on, we can kind of tighten it a little more. I'll start wrapping that dubbing in, and you can take your fingers and pull and tighten it. Okay, now once I get to the legs or the wings, whatever impression you want to use it, we'll just take the one leg, pull it back, and we'll split it right in the middle. Maybe a little too thick of dubbing right there, so I'll pull and thin it out a bit. Okay, I'll go one more behind everything. There we go. So I want it to hold out more to the side, not too far back. Then I'll grab these other legs or wings or whatever you want to call them. Okay, I've got them twisted here somehow. There we go. Okay, now we'll go in front of these other ones. Tighten that noodle a little better. Come in front. Front again. Okay. That's what I want right there. Don't be afraid to let that dubbing come up to the eye, because you can pull it back and tie in a little head right there. Boy, those two just don't want to play nice. There we go. Bump the camera, sorry. Okay, so you got impressions of legs or wings or whatever you want to call them. Pull that back up, I messed them up. There. Now, we'll pull the wing case over. And again, just a couple light wraps. And then kind of pinch with your left hand while you snug your thread up. And that keeps your wing case on the top. Do 3 or 4 more wraps. Now let's grab our whip finish. Use your fingers to pull everything back out of your way. Now 1, 2, 3. Trim that out. We'll pull back our wings a little, kind of get them all together here. We'll pull them back and just be patient. You lose a couple every now and then. Pull back almost to the length of the abdomen. Cut them right there. Now, I'll take and cut this foam off right here. To make a little head. Then what I'll do is I'll get a black marker and just touch it on the corners here. Like so. Like so. Around. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing in nature is perfect. If it's too perfect, it doesn't look right. Okay. So we'll get little black eyes on there. Let that marker dry for a minute. Now, I'll get my light UV clear, or thin. Clean that shaft off so it's just on the brush. And I'll dip a little bit where the thread is at. Kind of lock that thread in. Now I'll just touch around where the eyes are. Get them eyes to pop. Kind of bug eye them, make them little kind of pop out. And the UV just really brings it out, highlights them. Now I'll burn it in with our UV light. There you go, there's your another fly full of awesomeness. Works up in the Uintas really well. And it's that turquoise color. Now, I had a hard time finding that color, but I finally found it at Joann's and craft store or material store, whatever you want to call it. That's where I found that. And there you go. Thanks for watching.